What's going on, everybody? This is Eric here, Model Builder 81. Just kind of wanted to bring you guys a few things. Want to bring what I can find of it, what hasn't fallen off now that I look up here, but just a little bit of an update on my under 1,000 subscriber group build. Haven't got much done. The body's still white. Haven't sanded it or got it ready for paint. Engine neither. But I've got, because the weather has been kind of dookie here. Past day or so, it's actually a couple days rather. It's been decent warm, but then during the week, with depending on what's going on, it gets somewhat hard for me to even mess with it because of having to make dinner and run here and there, and yeah, you name it. So, but over last weekend, it was pretty cold out over the weekend, but I was still able to get some black. This lighting's gonna work here. Too bright. But yeah, I got some color on the seats. There's the other. Done the door panels with a little bit of detail. Nothing over the top. I just did up the speaker, grill, and then the door handles and the window crank. Well, door handle and the window cranks for the rear and the front on both of those, because there's the other. Got both of those decently done. Not that it's really gonna show or focus too well. And I got a little bit of detail work done to the dash. Which I got the little end of the signal lever there silvered out. Nothing really done to the steering wheel, but it's blacked out. And it was one of those, I don't remember who I heard it from. I don't remember if it was a YouTube video or something I seen on Facebook. But it was one of the, somebody was fighting, there was another person fighting gloss black, trying to, I've had issues too. I think I've only had a few that really turned out wonderful from just a straight gloss out of a can type deal. And never happy and just keep fighting it or just live with it and go once you get it at a decent level. But this was a flat black with a gloss put over it, and amazing. It's truly. I wanted to try it on some interior before I actually threw it on some fenders or for like a two-tone or a body or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be, I didn't want to throw it on a body until I had trialed it on some parts that wasn't as noticeable if it didn't turn out great, which they aren't perfect because of the weather, but they're decent still, and it does look good, and it looks better than the black that I had bought here, because this was some Ace Hardware black. It's just kind of dusty now, but I think and I've showed this in another video because when I had wheels and the chassis under it. But yeah, this black didn't turn out as good as what that did for the interior parts. That was a flat black. That was the the Rust-Oleum camouflage black. That paint really turns out really well. I've always liked that can for the flat black on the Rust-Oleum, and then what's the other? The chalkboard. The chalkboard paint's really nice too. May not be whatever for models. It works. I don't know. I've used it for chassis and little stuff before. Maybe I need to try that one next for putting gloss over it to see which is maybe better, or maybe neither one will be better. They're both good paints. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've really got done. Oh wait, no. I don't know where the heck it's at, guys. Here it is. If I can get it out of there. I did get the chassis and the frame done too. And that's a flat black. It was all flat black, and then I put the clear coat over the frame, because anyone that's built this Chevelle knows it's two-piece, which I haven't glued it on yet. But I just kind of threw it on for a test fit or a mock-up, see how it will look. Turned out pretty good. Pretty happy with it. I do have the rear end painted somewhere. I'm not going to dig too deep. Oh, yeah, there it is. And it was flat black too, with the gloss on it. It turned out pretty decent. But I still got to do the rear cover. I think I'm just going to do it in some silver and call it a day. I'm not going to black that out. I want it to be a little more standout. But yeah, and I got the interior started too, which I'm going to do it like a black on black. Oop, my lighting is just dookie. But I got the pedals silvered out, or at least the levers, and then I got a different black. You can't even really see it. I'm sorry, guys. My lighting. Should have done a little more testing before I tried to show. Yeah, doing the black on black interior with silver details. Pretty stockish, kind of in a sense, I guess, for the old school Chevelles. Or a lot of older cars were that way. But I'm gonna do the flat black floorboards, and then yeah, the center console and the seats and the doors and the dash are all gonna be gloss, well, along with the steering wheel and steering column. But thinking about putting a custom shifter in it instead of the kit shifter. Something, use a pin or a needle, whatever. I bought a bunch of those, and they're the white ball needles. I don't know where they're at. I'd show them if I could know where they were, but thinking about using one of those for that. But I also want to bring you guys a stash ad. Some of these are more recent than others. Yeah, let's go back to the birthday kits first. Alright, this one I got for my birthday. Bought it for myself out at the Antique Mall here in Springfield, out there on the other side of Harmony. I think I've had this kit before. I don't know. I have a box that has 2 or 3 different 32 Fords in it. I don't remember if this one was one in it. I know I don't remember this box art from when I did have it originally. But maybe it was it. I don't know. But really cool kit. Couldn't let that one go. I'd been there. I'd been in maybe twice and seen it. Put it off. And my birthday hit. Things was kind of weird or rough. Dealing with some shit at the time, and so screw it. I'm gonna go buy myself that gift. Didn't really get to see too many people. Barely seen my kids that day because they had to go stay somewhere because I didn't have a way to get them to school the next day. So I went out and grabbed that, and then that happens to be right in the neighborhood, not even but a quarter mile from where they was staying. So I went and visited with them after picking that one up, which that was pretty nice. This one I just picked up recently. I actually have 2 of them. The dogs kind of mauled the box on the one, but this is the newest one that I bought, the Buick Opal GT. Yes, pretty cool little kit. The one that got messed up, the box, I kind of started it, or was wanting to rather, and just kind of noticing how some of it builds up. I just decided not to start gluing and getting things ready until I was actually able to do some painting. It's a pretty nice little kit. You can build it multiple different ways. That's the stock version there, which is pretty nice. There's a different hood there. It's got 3 different hoods with it because there's this one up here with the stacks coming out of it. Very nice kit. And then it's got 2 different, I don't know if it shows it. Yeah, there's the racing version of the chassis, which is pretty nice. And then it also has, which it doesn't show it on this side, but it also has a stock version. Of course, they always give you, that's what I like about the newer releases. They give you a good idea on what parts look like, at least the outline, and got a good idea on what you're getting that way. Pretty good idea, rather. But alright, yeah, and I have 2 of those, like I said. One of those kind of got messed up. That one I just bought recently, but the other one, yeah. And this one was the one I got on my birthday. My mom would give me some money, so I went out and snagged some kits. I'd passed it up in the past before. Couldn't pass it up that day. Really cool kit. A lot of you guys know it's been around before, but I had it years ago and ruined the one I had. I should have. It fell apart, got put in a box. And I didn't like the rear wheels on it, how I had the holes. I think, yeah, thought those were just miscasted or. And then just between that and being in the box and the headers falling off and front end clip or the front clip falling off, just and maybe the grill. I don't remember exactly, but it was still resalvageable. I could have rebuilt it and then had a nice car, but I was young and rookie or not very bright with, but I didn't know what I was doing in a sense with the ability to save stuff at that point either and redo things, and that was back way before I knew about stripping paint. Just thought you'd sand it down and repaint it. I had over there's cars I had too much paint on. Some of those wound up in the trash too. Some of the other ones, but and then here's this one too. This one was a really cool one. I've wanted this one for a long time. Seen a lot of guys on YouTube build this one. Very cool. Old Ford. I'm more of a Chevy guy, but I do like the old Fords for sure. I was raised in a Ford family, but I still have the love for these old style trucks, the 32s, the Deuce High Boys, just the Roadster. I like the fender cars are nice, but I like the fenderless a little more. I just think they look tougher, a little faster, a little meaner, maybe. Sharp look. That's why I had to snag the High Boy. And then this one is the most recent purchase. Just found this one at Hobby Lobby on the 40% off today, actually. I've only built one big rig. I've got probably close to 20. This one looks like a really good one. If anyone knows anything about it and how good it is, please again leave me a comment. This is probably a re-drop of an older one. But I don't have this one yet. I'm pretty sure I don't anyway. In the older version. I know I don't have this box art. If I have it already, I'm going to be upset. But I guess we live and we learn. I bought some cars that way too. But I've got close to 20 big rigs or a little more. I don't know exactly. I haven't really got a count on those. But those big rigs are good about dropping. This one says over 300 detailed parts. They're good at dropping you a big parts quantity with theirs. But they're very well detailed too. AMT seems to really drop those and make those really nice. And then I think it's the International. I can't think of the name exactly, but it's been brought out before and it's been repopped with the Rat Finks. I would like to snag that. That's one I definitely want in my arsenal. Now, I don't know so much about the trailer. Maybe I don't know. I bought a trailer similar to that and started it, and it was it got boxed back up. The dogs destroyed the box. I was lucky it was only the box, but it wound up in a bag and it's in one of my tubs. So I don't think I need another one of those trailers. I don't think. Maybe, I don't know, maybe just to have with that once I do get to building more of those. I'm going to wind up moving this year at some point. Just hope I find a good spot to store all my models. If I don't get a good spot to take them to, like, I don't know, because I don't want to get rid of all my kits. And all my build-ups that I've got done, I need to try to make sure they're put in a good spot too when the move happens, whether it's with me there or I don't know. I don't want to have to rent a storage unit. Maybe I have to. Plan is to try to buy a house, but I don't know. We'll see. Tired of renting. I like to be in a place that's mine to call home. I've had homes and whatnot, and I don't know, man. I'm just getting to that point. Tired of renting and throwing away. Money I put into renting this place is crazy. But we needed a spot at the time. Now it's just me and my kids. It was 6 of us at one point. One nephew left, and the girlfriend left her nephew here. well, partially. He wanted to stay. He didn't want to go. He was safe and happy here, and he goes to school in this district. So, but either way, it's just down to me and my kids. The move's gonna be coming. Just gotta figure that out. What's going on? Taking it day by day. But all right. Yeah, I'm gonna get off of my story here about what's going on. Just trying to let people know what's going on, I guess, and just hope that I figure shit out. Cause yeah, I'm not giving up the model. I hope I don't lose many or any during a move or have to get rid of, part ways. I've been collecting them to build for years now. You know, I say collect just because I buy a lot, but I buy them to build. I'm not a collector in terms of, oh no, I'm not gonna touch. The plan is to build all of them at some point. But I have a lot. Not as many as some others, maybe. I probably got over 300 box kits, and then I have some 5 or 6 tubs that I had to tub or bag kits and put in the tubs, which I didn't have them in the tubs originally. They were just kind of wherever in boxes. But the Rubbermaid tubs was the safest route. Because when we lived out in the trailer, the shed is where I had my models, and the roof leaked, and I didn't know it until it was too late. It ruined a lot of boxes, decals, instructions. At least the plastics didn't get ruined, but then some of them, after being put in bags and tubs, some of them been broken, and the pillars, and so eventually I'm either gonna have to just make parts kits of some of those or fix what I can. Yeah, you guys know how that can be. Some of those are really, some of them got bent and smashed beyond. To that point, I guess maybe I'll just be stealing engines and chassis, maybe for, I don't know, because they're not Pro Streets. I don't think that's the bad part. I don't know. Figure it out when that time comes with all of those. But I just wanted to bring an update on my Chevelle for the under 1,000 subscribers group build. And just my stash ad, I guess, which was what, 5 kits? Yeah, 5 kits. Couple Fords, a Chevy, a Buick, and the old California Holler, the Peterbilt 359 with the sleeper. That's a pretty cool looking kit. Really is. Definitely. My dad was a trucker, so that's kind of why I get into them, I guess. Which I've only got one done, and it was the easy kind of snap together Revell. I think it's a Peterbilt. Very cool kit though, but I de-chromed everything, and it's not fully finished. Well, it was close, and parts had fallen off, but I've never finished putting decals, and which I don't know if I should, because the decals that were with it were the color match with what I set up with, because I did mine in an olive drab with blacked out everything. So at some point maybe I'll bring a video on that once I get the tanks and things back on it. One of them's off and one's hanging. Pretty cool truck though, and it was, I guess, a good starter kit for building a semi or a big rig. But I'm gonna get off here, guys. Everybody take care. Thanks for the views, the likes, the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Alright, I've been watching your guys' videos as I can. I don't watch like I used to, just kind of been busy. But I get in and watch when I can. I'm definitely behind on quite a bit of it, but I'll get back to where I'm caught up on it as I get time and want to learn more. Of course, I've learned so much from you guys. Very grateful for what you guys show and whatnot. And so even if it's not a how-to video, just little tips and things are just very meaningful to me. I know, and a lot to a lot of other people too. So maybe I get to a point where I can start sharing maybe a little more tips and tricks, and which I kind of did the flat black and the gloss coat over. That's very good for the paint. I think that does give you a better gloss paint than buying a typical gloss paint out of a can anyway. It might get a good result, which I think a lot of blacks from the airbrush are flat, and then you have to put a clear over it anyway. But it just laid on lighter, smoother, didn't have that rough texture, you know what I mean? You just, nice coat, and then the clear sprayed right over. I praise it. I'm going to try it at some point on a body, whether it's a whole body or I don't know, something, but it's gonna get in the future. I want to get my Chevelle done though. The weather is getting to a point. It's warming up this week. We'll see how it goes. I think I got to work this Saturday, but that still gives me a part of the day Saturday and to get caught up on stuff around here and maybe get the body done. I need to go try to find a nice white primer though, because I don't want the blue that I'm using to wind up darker, and I don't want to have to coat it too thick or too heavy. You know what I mean? So I did see Autistic Modeler's video about where he bought his rattle can white primer at Ace Hardware. So I think I'm gonna go try to find that can that he's using. He seemed to praise it. So I did buy a can of white primer, and then it was an enamel acrylic. I seen the acrylic and was kind of in a rush to go get breakfast and stuff that morning for me and my son and his buddy that had stayed over. So I was ready to go get the donuts and whatnot and get back to the house, and I stopped in at the Advanced Hardware on this, or Advanced Auto, sorry. That was en route to get the donuts. On the way to get the donuts at Schuler's, I stopped there, and I was kind of in a rush, like I said, and I seen the acrylic. I was like, sweet. Won't have to worry. I can use that under anything. And then I don't know if I noticed it as I got home or after. It was one of the two. But I noticed that it was an enamel. And most of the paints I have in a can are lacquer, not enamel. So eventually I'll find something to use it for, I suppose. Maybe I'll test it on something, see how good the coat looks. Maybe I can use it for some interior parts, or maybe even if it looks that good, I can throw it on a body and throw some clear over it and get me a nice white paint job too. I don't know. I'll find something out with it, but kind of upsetting. I don't know. I'll find something though. I think if as long as I can find that same paint that the Autistic Modeler used or showed, because he showed quite a few paints in his one video I watched of his recently. It's some weird off-brand white primer, but I'm gonna try to find that when I get a chance to get in there. And then, if I can find that, I'm gonna get a can of it, see how it works. It's just somebody, just because somebody likes it don't mean that everyone will type deal. But I'm gonna give me a can. Hopefully it'll be good. If it is, I'm gonna snag up 2 or 3 cans of it so I have it. Maybe not 3, at least a couple. That way I can keep my primer at a lighter. I usually use a gray, and there's sometimes I use a black, and that gives you your lines better in your doors, your detail for that. But I don't know. Don't want to do that on everything though, because I don't want to. It just makes your lighter colors not turn out the way they're supposed to. You guys know how that is. I did that with this orange. I think I did anyway, or maybe it was a gray. But I've seen other people use this orange, and it was bright and orange. It was just so orange, but it just didn't turn out as. It's like a off orange there, in my opinion, in comparison to what I was expecting or what's on the can. I don't know where the can's at. I'd grab it and show you guys, but it's too far away, and I'm not gonna grab it. But I'm gonna get off here. All right, thank you guys. Everybody, take care. Give me a like, comment.